yet they weren't willing to move him up on the line to give him the care that he needed to try and save his life at the time. On the flip side, in 92, my leg was severed in a work accident. The doctor who was able to reattach my leg using a procedure that hadn't been used before was from Edmonton, Canada, coming down here to practice medicine rather than practicing it up there. You know, there's a lot of call for our troops to come home. And though I support that war, I say bring them home because the real problem's here and the takeover's happening here, and we need them back here now.
Dave, look, I got to tell you, my brother-in-law is Canadian, and he's a doctor. And he's coming to work in the United States because he is sickened and disgusted by what he's seen in the Canadian healthcare system. It is literally breaking apart at the seams. And it's not just in Canada. It's in Britain. It's all across Europe. Socialized medicine doesn't work. But this is the problem, is once you have socialized medicine, it's very hard, almost impossible to go back because it fosters dependency. It reduces the citizen to that of a child. This is the most pernicious effect of big government. It destroys your character. You see, yes, it makes you poorer. Yes, it raises your taxes. Yes, it gives you poorer quality health care. And all those reasons are valid. But even at a deeper level, it destroys your character as a people and as a nation. And what Obama and the Democrats are trying to do, this is a revolution. They are neo-Marxist socialist revolutionaries. And they want to create here what you see in Venezuela, what you see in Cuba, what you see in most of Western Europe. They want to see a socialist state. So they hate the Constitution. They hate American capitalism. Why do you think, just as a quick aside here, why do you think there are emails now being sent out by the White House, led, I'm sure, by that thug, Rahm Emanuel, who learned his politics from Chicago, the fist to the head, and how to steal votes from the ballot box? He and Rod Blagojevich and all those guys from the Chicago gang, where those guys are sending out emails telling American citizens to basically tell on other American citizens who question Obama's health care plan, what they call, quote, fishy emails. These are left-wing thugs, and this is all about power. And everywhere socialism has been tried, it has led to ruin. It has led to the loss of freedom. It has led to disaster. This is why we in America can never allow it to happen here. This is our last stand. I am Jeff Kuhner, filling in for the living legend Michael Savage on the Savage Nation. We'll be right back after this break.
Savage. On the air, online, and on the go. This is Talk 910 KNEW.
This is Jeff Kuhner filling in for the living legend Michael Savage on the Savage Nation. I recommend strongly all of you go to michaelsavage.com. There are some very, very important stories. In fact, many of them have just been posted right now. Let me quickly just run down a couple of them. There is an excellent story on the Associated Press about the man in Pittsburgh, that brutal murderer who went into a fitness class, an LA fitness class, and killed 3 women, at least 3 women. Many more are wounded, apparently because he hadn't been having sex in about 19 years. Talk about a sick, demented guy. You know, this is in many ways what modern America is slowly coming to. You know, anyway, so he hadn't had a date in something like over 25 years, hadn't had sex in 19 years, hated women, so went in there and brutally gunned down 3 women. I can tell you right now what the liberal media is going to make of this. They're already spinning it this way, and the echo chamber is going to get louder. We need more gun control. No, we don't. We absolutely don't need more gun control. What we need to do is we need to make sure that American citizens can defend themselves from the real criminals who will get guns no matter what. What we need to do is we need to preempt these sorts of things by looking for warning signals. And clearly this guy was deranged, spoke on his blog, and pretty much advertised he was going to kill people, and nobody did anything about it. Former Congressman William Jefferson, you remember him? The guy with the $90,000 in his freezer, the guy that took a bribe? Well, apparently now he's been convicted on 11 of 16 counts. So he has now been found guilty of taking, basically of bribery, of taking bribes. And I got to tell you, my friends, this is always very heartening, because what distinguishes the United States from the rest of the world, and it's something that Americans take for granted. And in fact, I had a Moroccan immigrant tell me this. He said, you know, Jeff, there's a lot of corruption in Morocco. And there's a lot of corruption. I've been to Europe, and there's a lot of corruption in Europe, and there's a lot of corruption in Africa. He goes, but I have to tell you, what's remarkable about the United States is that here, when a politician is caught abusing his power, when a politician is caught taking money, when a politician is caught in a corruption scandal, he or she is held accountable. People are punished for their actions. In most parts of the world, they're not. They are literally exempt from the law, and they can do whatever they like. And so it's gratifying to see that a crook like Congressman Jefferson is going to spend some time in prison and is convicted of bribery, because believe me, he was guilty of sin. There are some other excellent stories, obviously we talked about earlier in the show, very good stories on Clinton's trip to North Korea and the sellout. There's a very nice op-ed piece by John Bolton in how this is enhancing the North Korean regime's legitimacy, another sellout of American interests due to Bill Clinton's trip. And of course, there's Obama's VIP healthcare plan. He's planning to ration your care. He's planning to put you at the back of the line. But believe me, he and his family are not suffering from lack of medical care. He has a staff, according to the Los Angeles Times, check this out, he's got 4 doctors on staff around the clock taking care of him, plus nurses and physicians as assistants. This is the future, my friend. 2-tiered health care. Lousy care for all of us, superb around-the-clock care for the political class in the United States. This is the future of socialism. This is the future of America, unless we do something about it. This is Jeff Kuhner, sitting in for the living legend Michael Savage. Michael, I want to thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to fill in. You truly are the greatest talk radio host in the country. May God bless you, and may God bless all of your listeners. Cheers.
Michael Savage. Afternoons 3 to 7 on Talk 910 KNEW and online at 910KNEW.com.